I'm Tara with Tara Simon Studios, and today is TikTok Day. Whoop whoop! So excited. We out here. We're ready for this. Let's do this, guys. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, because what are you waiting for? Click that notifications button, and let's do some TikToks.
I know we're just friends, but they don't know about the things we do. They don't know about the I love yous, but I bet you if they only knew,
Yes,
they
Tone.
would just be jealous of us.
Very sweet sound. So this is a very specific tone. This is a light, bright, high bell, like ingenue, Disney princess, right? Tone. Very light and bright, but beautiful all in and of itself. This would be someone who would not want to try to sing unless it was a totally different interpretation. Someone who would not want to sing something like Toni Braxton or Adele, because the tonality is just so different. You expect something husky or something deeper of that song. But I thought the song she chose was really great for her voice. Very nicely done.
I hear she got you on lockdown, but I got the master key. Yeah. I light 1,000 candles all around. Show me to the subway, I'll go down. Nothing can be sweeter than the sound of making love. Baby, when I start, I just can't stop. I love you from the bottom to the top. Nothing is forbidden when we touch.
Whoa!
All the things your way won't do, I'll do them for you.
Oh, I love it at the end. The wink was everything. Listen, okay, so this is very runny, okay, and I like that. I'm a big lover of all the riffs and runs, guys. I can be very self-indulgent, I will confess, when it comes to that, and she is too, but I like it. You know, some people don't. Some people are like, oh, she's doing the most, it's extra. I'm extra. I just like it. I'm sorry. Like, different strokes for different folks. The more, I don't know. I just kind of love it. I feel like also this is indicative of a gospel background. It's very almost like when you make fun of a gospel singer for doing all that. Like, that's what she was doing, but she wasn't making fun of it. She was doing it for real. But sometimes when you do all those runs, it's sort of like a parody on gospel singing. But I thought her vocal flexibility was fire and that she was on point. There was a little, and here's the only thing about all those runs. There's a little bit of propensity for strain and vocal tension because of some of the ways that you end up shaping your vowels. Like, that part can be just shifted a little bit, and that would have cost her a little less vocal dollars. But also there's this style that goes with that sound that you kind of miss too if you change the shape. So there is a give and take to it. I personally was a fan of that. I loved that. You let me know what you think in the comments.
I ain't playing no games, every word I say is coming straight from my heart.
Bathroom
So
singing.
if you try to lay in these arms, I'ma leave the door open.
Ooh, nice support there on the open.
I'ma leave the door open, girl.
Nice. Okay. So I can tell he's got a little bit of training. I'd be surprised if he would comment and say, no, I'm not trained at all, because the way that he undergirded himself when he went open like that, that's very indicative of good training. So whoever you studied with or maybe you watched, they taught you right, because you need that on that open to really get underneath that note. You know, for those of you guys who play volleyball, you got to get under the ball to be able to bump it properly, you know, with your legs. And that's the same thing for singing. Like, when you hit high notes like that, they kind of just rip the Band-Aid off, so to speak, and they come out of nowhere. You really need to get under the note. And the way you get under the note is by that it's almost like a Heimlich maneuver. It's in and up, and with the hand coming up to it, just sort of like physically conducts what your internal body needs to do with what your diaphragm needs to do to push and like sing vomit the air out of you. So I thought he did a really great job. Really good. It's hot.
But he don't know
Ooh, vibes.
while he's sleeping, I sit and watch Just won't light up with reasons why we can't go on. I should have listened to what my mind
Yes.
was telling me.
What is she doing with the paint? I don't understand, but that was really great.
Somebody who can love me at my word.
The tone in his voice is crazy good.
No, I'm not perfect, but I hope you see my word.
You know what his voice reminds me of if it were a fabric? Burlap. Like texture, like you know, like just so much, like thickness. It's like a thicker material, and it's really textured. It's warm. It's got these little fibers in it. Like that's just, man, his voice in the best way is burlap. Yeah? Yeah.
'Cause it's only you. Nobody knew I put you first.
Ugh.
And for you, girl, I swear I do the worst.
So good.
'Cause it's only you. Nobody knew I put you first. And for you, girl, I swear I do the worst.
See, it's the same thing there with the vowels. The word. They sing on the R. That's definitely indicative of gospel. But really, technically speaking, I mean, again, styles upon style, right? I love it. But technically speaking, you really want to know how to open the vowel first before you then choose to go the opposite. It's sort of like songwriting. Like you want to stick to good song form before you break the rules, right? Singing, you want to know good technique before you break the rules for style. And he's so good. He probably already knows the rules, but for those of you who don't, you would want to go the worst, like get the R at the end, if at all. The worst. I would prefer no R, but the worst is styled, right? You can hear the difference in the style, and it's very indicative of like this gospel kind of R&B vibe. But that's what he did. He did the run on the R to make it sound that way, which if you're not careful has jaw tension, like and creates throat tension. This wasn't a high note for him though, so it was no risk, but just breaking it down for you. He's so good. Oh my gosh. I love him. Love him. I'm a sucker for a guy who plays piano too.
There's not a friend like the lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one.
Her vibrato is
None
interesting.
else could heal all our souls' diseases.
Love
No, not one.
that. Beautiful flexibility.
No, not one. Jesus knows all about our struggle.
Very healthy sounding
He
voice.
will guide till the day is done.
Now she's singing in Chester, even though there sounds like there's elements of mix.
Not a friend like the lowly Jesus.
Yes, love that. That was great. Really well done. Beautiful.
No
Nice
matter
and
what
light
I
and
sing,
easy.
I always get this comment. Let me show you.
You'll never be alone. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm right here.
Woo!
I'll hold you when things go wrong. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. Oh, baby, I'm right here. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. Oh,
Nice.
baby, I'm right here.
Yay! I loved that. It kind of gave me a little bit of a Fozia vibe, a little bit. You know, it's tough. It's tough. People are getting real sneaky and real good at being sneaky online about the auto-tune and the comping, which is why I have released a series on my channel. If you don't know about it yet, you should check it out, called One Take Wonders, where I sing a song all the way through with no takes, no comping, no auto-tune, and then I react to it later to break down what I did. And it's frustrating, you know, for singers who are actually singing real, which they're not very many of them releasing full songs like that who are doing that, because it's unfair competition, really. It's everything's so processed, so edited, so perfected now that if you do it the other way, you sound bad. Like you sound like you can't really sing as good as them. Which the problem is they're really not singing that way. Like most of them aren't, and that's why it's so rare and it's such a big deal when an artist says, "I recorded this in one take." Like I remember Christina Aguilera said she did that to "Beautiful," I believe it was. Where it was just all one take through, and that was a big deal because it's not really done, right? And that shows you like how big of a deal it is. So whether or not she's singing for real or not, I believe that she was in that particular take. And it's sad when people accuse you of singing with autotune when you're not, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of guts and vulnerability and courage to do something outside of the norm of what the status quo of sound is nowadays. So really good. Props to her.
You say that I've been acting different, yeah. Funny how I finally flipped the script on you. When you the one who's double dipping, yeah. You so sloppy how I caught you slipping up. You're off the leash.
Oh, I like that.
Run me my keys. No more popping up the hit,
so
yeah. I ain't even got the master trip on you. New phone, who is this? Brand new, like the whip. Rack it up, no assist. May bitch, I ain't average. Wake up, need a zip. Hennessy, take a sip. I got my jeans, I'm too thick. I ain't got no room for extra baggage. Don't forget to come and pick up your feelings.
Like that crescendo.
Don't leave no pieces. You need.
Okay, that was really a vibe. I like that.
I don't care what they say. I'm in love with you. They try to pull me away. They don't know the truth.
I love this girl.
My heart's crippled by the flame that I keep on closing.
Love the song too.
Oh, you cut me open and I.
Love her tone. So great, but yet so relaxing. What's this?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Go 1,
As she's hunched over on a couch. How?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink.
What's this grandpa gonna do?
Back till I lose count.
Wow.
I'm gonna swing
Wow.
from the chandelier, from the chandelier.
Yes. Great placement. Locked and dropped.
Like tomorrow doesn't
Ooh, nice little ornamentation there.
like it doesn't exist.
Love that placement up top in the head voice.
I'm gonna fly like a bird through the night.
Yes.
You attempt to they dry.
The cat.
I'm gonna swing
What?
from the chandelier.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, I don't know what the grandfather was doing and why he wasn't reacting like me, because she's killing it. And the cat, I can't with the cat. She needs to be on a stage somewhere, not crouched over on a couch in a hoodie. What on earth? Beautiful voice, right? Like, holler if you hear me, guys. Beautiful tone. Dropped and locked. Her chandelier. That E was just perfection. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Love it. Great technique.
Every time you walk out the list, I love you.
Love harmonies.
Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbye.
Ooh, the vibrato lined up.
I'm way
Nice.
too good at goodbye.
I love him.
Yeah.
You
have no rival. You have no equal. Now and forever, God, you reign.
so much talent on TikTok.
Yours is the kingdom. Yours is the glory.
Nice cry there.
Yours is the name above all names.
Beautiful. Yeah. So, first of all, I love that song. Second of all, for those of you guys who are watching her jaw and you may be like kind of getting judgy about like, rival, you have no equal. Listen, Whitney, in one of her most famous performances of the national anthem, her jaw was going all over the place. Sometimes I equate it to kind of like when you're working out and you start to shake, like, oh my gosh, like it's that going to failure. It's not vocally going to failure, but there is this sense of mechanism movement, I would call it. Like your jaw, this whole part right here is a mechanism. And as you're saying words, when vibrato happens and undulation happens, sometimes in order to avoid jaw tension, where it's like stuck in place, I would rather see someone's jaw move like that than for it to be stuck in a place. Now, if you're dropped and locked, you have no rival. If I'm really dropped and locked all the way down, my jaw is much less likely to move, which is cool. That's kind of good. I mean, it's sort of the best outcome that you would get, right? But I'm not hating on somewhat of jaw movement when you're doing a lot of vocal flexibility and agility. It's not the end of the world, let's put it that way. The sound is important and she's getting really great sound out. And as long as she's not feeling overly fatigued afterwards, I wouldn't knock that, okay? All right, so that's TikTok, guys, for today. I hope you learned a lot. I love reacting to TikToks. Let me know which ones you would like me to react to next. You can let me know in the comments box below. I love you guys so much. I am proud of you. If you're a singer on a vocal journey and you're wanting help, we got you covered. Check out the description box below. We have an 8-week course called Sing Smarter, Not Harder, revolutionizing the way people are singing all over the world. Just check out the testimonials. Don't believe me or take my word for it. We have Riffs and Runs. Speaking of Riffs and Runs, a 4-week course that's meant to follow up the 8-week course Sing Smarter, Not Harder. We got private lessons, Insta reactions, you name it, we got it. I love you guys so much. I am so proud of you. Make sure today that you spread faith, not fear, love, not germs, be a blessing in a stranger's life, because that is how we change the world. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
And I'm